Michigan is looking for a new head coach, and I'll tell you what, they better get somebody from outside the program, because there's no one that works for this team that is qualified or frankly deserves in any shape or form to be the next head coach. Sherrone Moore has been fired for cause for having an affair with a staffer that reported directly to him. He is married with 4 kids, and there's a lot of rumors out there that there also could be an abortion and a pregnancy that took place. I'm not sure how this was found out by the university, but that's not what we're talking about here today. Now, let's talk about who is going to be the next Michigan head coach, right? This investigation has been going on for several weeks, at least 4 weeks, right? Mid-November to mid-December. That's 3 or 4 weeks. So he coached the Ohio State game. He coached the Maryland game. He went through National Signing Day as Michigan's coach under investigation, which I think calls into question the job prospects of Ward Manuel and whoever else was making the decision, right? This is a school at Michigan that their school president left earlier this year to try and go to Florida and was completely pushed aside because of the revolt against him because of his political stances in the past. So where is the leadership at the highest levels of this program? I don't know. I'm going to talk about 5 candidates to replace him. Now, there are a few candidates that I want to point out here that are more pie in the sky, that, oh my gosh, of course we would have him, but it's just not conceivable. And number 1 from that is, just spacing here, Mike Macdonald, right? That's number 1. Seahawks head coach, Michigan defensive coordinator, was only at Michigan for 1 year. He's not going to leave a top NFL job, a job where he's, under consideration for the next, the head coach of the year for this, for the NFL, for the best head coach. He's not going to leave that job. So he's a pie in the sky. Kirk Cignetti, I think a lot of people like him. A little older than I think most Michigan fans would want, but the results in the field are obvious. He's not going to leave Indiana right now in a national title run for the Michigan job. Other one, which I think is maybe more possible than those two, is John Harbaugh himself, right? Things aren't necessarily going swimmingly with the Ravens. He's been there for 17 or so seasons. Maybe it's just time to part ways. John Harbaugh told me to my face in May of, I think, 2011 that coaching Michigan football, being the head coach of Michigan football, would be his absolute dream, but that he supported Brady Hoke, as Hoke had just got the job a few months prior. So let's start off with number 1. This is my top candidate. Now, you're going to say, Jesse Minter, no. He got a show cause. She can't be Michigan's coach. And you're right on the first part. He did get a 1-year show cause, but that was for this season, right? That was for the 2025 season. We're coming up on 2026 here in about 3 weeks to the day, and so he can be Michigan's head coach. There might be some restrictions if we're talking about school year or calendar year for this spring, right? For recruiting, for being on the sidelines for the spring game. But other than that, Jesse Minter is probably the number 1 candidate of any assistant coach in college, pro, or high school. Anyone who is not currently a head coach, I think, for the NFL, for college football, Jesse Minter is the number 1 guy for any job after this NFL season ends. He's going to get a lot of looks from NFL teams. There's rumors about the New York Giants. There's rumors about other teams, maybe the Raiders, if they make a coaching change, that Minter would be their number 1 candidate. I think he'd be an awesome coach. He's young. I'm not sure about his recruiting prowess, but he might be the best defensive mind in all of football right now. People might argue Matt Patricia at Ohio State with the year they had on defense, but Jesse Minter would be a home run, knows the program, was part of the national championship. But the pause on him is, and why I don't think it's going to happen outside of the NFL interest is wipe the slate clean. Wipe the slate clean with everything that happened in 2021, 2022, and 23, he being the D coordinator in those past 2 seasons for this program that, Michigan just wants to get away from. They need a clean house, and there's probably some pushback that if Minter came in, the house would still be dirty from all the off-the-field stuff. I'm not even talking about Stallions. I'm talking about Alex Shude. I'm talking about Denard Robinson. I'm talking about Matt Weiss, and now Sherrone Moore. Number 2 on this list, and I think it's one more possible. A lot of people are putting out there that this is possible. I know for a fact that 2 years ago, Kalen DeBoer, coming off the loss to Michigan in the national championship game, was backdoor making it known that if Jim Harbaugh is leaving, in the next couple of days, that he would be the next Michigan coach. That's the job he wanted. And if it came down to Alabama, Michigan, I think at the time he would have chosen Michigan if he had 2 offers on the table. But Alabama acted fast. All right, Nick Saban stepped away, and they had him signed, sealed, and delivered to Alabama in a number of days, right? In a handful of days, and Michigan didn't have the opportunity. Didn't seem like they wanted the opportunity. Harbaugh, I think, stretched out another couple weeks, and then Sherrone Moore was named the coach after no search at all. So if they were to go into Oklahoma, right, 10 days from now, 9 days from now, whatever it is, in the CFP first round, he loses that game. Let's say they lose by 15, 20 points, 21 points, whatever it is, and it's a blowout loss like the Georgia game was in the SEC title game, right? You go to 10-2 season, you end up going 10-4. Last year they were 9-4. You don't go 19-8 at Alabama in 2 seasons and have great job security. He will be on the hot seat going into next year. He's probably a better fit at Michigan. Will get a longer leash at Michigan. I think it's the job he wants. Could him and Alabama just say, hey, I know this buyout exists. I know this kind of exists. You want out? I want out. Okay, let's just get out of here. Let's go. I'm going to go be the head coach of the University of Michigan. Don't be surprised if that's happened. Keep a keen eye on the Alabama-Oklahoma game coming up in around 10 days. If you have to do so, subscribe to the Michigan Football Report as we are approaching 37,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of you who have been along for the ride. These last 6 seasons now we've done this show on YouTube. Jack's here. We're having a lot of fun today, not because of this news, but that we're back live. It's forcing us to be live, which I love to do, but frankly, because the demands of the company that we're running here, haven't done as much really at all. I mean, when's the last time we went live, Jack? We went live, Bryce Underwood, and one other time. I mean, that was a year, and that was 12 and a half months ago. Subscribe, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Now, I think the most likely head coaching candidate, head coaching hire for Michigan is going to be Jedd Fisch, the head coach at Washington. 8-4 this year, right? Had a really good year at Arizona back in 2023. I think they went 10-2 when he was the head coach. Awesome quarterback play. What's the tie? Why would he leave Washington? What's the tie there? Well, I mean, look, he was the passing game coordinator for Michigan, Jim Harbaugh's first 2 years, right? Had no ties to Michigan. I know his wife has stayed friendly with a ton of Michigan staffers that were around for the late Harbaugh years. You know, the Jay Harbaugh's the year. Honestly, frankly, Sherrone Moore's wife, I think, and him were his wife were friends because they all post pictures of each other on social media, right? When they go to a Seahawks game, it's like, oh, look who joined us. It's Washington's head coach's wife, Jedd Fisch's wife here, etc. And, Jay Harbaugh, et cetera. Jay could be a candidate, but I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. I think Jedd would keep Bryce Underwood. I think he'd keep Savion Hyder. I think things would be very smooth. Some people in the chat saying Fisch is not very good. Maybe that's the case, but I'm not sure. Short of going after a John Harbaugh or going after, someone you just don't think is possible to get, I'm not sure Michigan's going to have better options of guys who would take the job if it's not one of those two guys at the top of the list or the absolute pie in the sky, Kirk Cignetti or John Harbaugh or others. Now, this one's interesting because I think he's not getting as much love for NFL head coaching jobs that I think he should get. He's a young guy. Jack, look how old he is. I think Joe Brady at this point still might be only like 36 or 37 years old, right? I don't think he's even 40 years old yet. 36. That means when he was the passing game coordinator, not even the offensive coordinator, the passing game coordinator for LSU, the greatest offense college football has ever seen in 2019, he was a 30-year-old passing game coordinator. Went around a little bit, been with the Buffalo Bills now, is going to be a candidate for NFL head coaching jobs, but I think his heart, I think where he wants to be is in college football. I think that he's the kind of guy from a personality perspective, from a rah-rah perspective, that players and recruits can get behind, that the alumni can get behind, the players can get by. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dusty May in some ways. I know May is not much older than 36, but Joe Brady will be an interesting one. Now, does the timing work out? Buffalo is clearly going to make the playoffs, I think, right? There's no chance they don't make the playoffs. They're near the top, at the top of their division, right behind the Patriots, but they're going to make the playoffs. Does that extend this process, right? The NFL season still has 5 full weeks, right? Or 15, 16, so 4 full weeks, including this one. And then they're going to be in the playoffs. So we're talking about at least till January 15th or 16th until his season's over if they lose in their opening game. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. The schedule of it might be tough. But we've seen with other teams. We've seen with these Group of 5 schools. We've seen with Ohio State and their offensive coordinator going to USF, still going to be the OC for the playoff. Apparently, could he say, hey, I'm going to accept the job. I'm going to still coach this team, but I'm going to do the things right now I need to bring on a transfer portal class, to keep this recruiting class from not going anywhere else, from keeping the damn 100 guys on the roster from not transferring because they might not want to stick around after this Sherrone Moore saga. Joe Brady would be an absolute awesome hire. I got him fourth on my list. I think he'd probably be a better hire than Jedd Fisch, but I kind of rank this on coach and likeliness is where I kind of stack these out as my top four are Jesse Minter, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama. I know, Alabama, Jedd Fisch, and Joe Brady. Last but not least, I didn't think of this one initially. Jack's going to be in shambles as an Arizona State graduate himself. Kenny Dillingham. How old is he, Jack? 40, 39? Took them to the college football playoff. Was a player or two away from beating Texas, a Texas team, 35. That's awesome, right? Awesome offense at Oregon. Went to be the head coach at Arizona State, and that's his alma mater. Now, there's some bad vibes there, right? Last time Michigan took a coach who was coaching his alma mater, Rich Rodriguez, after the 2007 season. Became Michigan's head coach December of 07-08 season. Complete debacle. All the players left. Ryan Mallett transferred, RIP, and Michigan went 3-9, 5-7, 7-6. He was fired. Absolute disaster. So is there bad vibes out there? Stealing a guy from his dream job, stealing a guy from the job that he probably wanted going to college, his alma mater, might be some bad vibes. So I will ask you guys this question. Who do you want? Who should be? Who will be? However you want to answer it. Put some names in the comments below. Put some names into the live chat. Let me know who should be, who will be, just your pick for the next Michigan football head coach. Go Blue.